Direct method started with from Coisgoin and was picked up by Berlitz and Xavier. This was established in England around 19th century as a reaction to dissatisfaction with the grammar translation method. Ug nisikat ni siya atong paggamit nila Xavier and Maximilian Berlitz. Ug kanindang direct method is ginatawag gyapon siyang natural method or conversational method. Og as I said, gidevelop ni siya ni Maximilian Berlitz in 1852 to 1921 towards at the end of the 19th century as a reaction to dissatisfaction with the grammar.
Have a pleasant day, everyone. I am Giselle Ann A. Villarosa, and I'm going to discuss about what is direct method. The direct method of teaching, which is sometimes called the natural method and is often used in teaching foreign languages, refrain from using the learner's native language or the mother tongue and uses only the target language. Language immersion lets students use the target language inside the classroom all the time without relying on the mother tongue for translation or just for understanding the lesson, because we are trying to let the students to learn the new language or the target language in the same way that they learn their mother tongue.
Direct method aims to provide language learners with a practically useful to know the communication. Direct method is concerned with the language learners, most especially the students, to be aware of the significance of the use of the target language in communication. This method acts the teacher-student and student-teacher activities. The relationship of a teacher with its students will get deeper, resulting into a positive outcome of the academic performance of the students, and as well as their comfortness with their teachers, as they will be interacting due to activities in which the students needs guide of a teacher. Focuses on making relation between rule and performance, experience and language, and thought and expression. Connecting those pairs is a way to an effective communication, so it's basically not just about how to speak a certain language, because what it shapes is also considered. It builds listening and speaking competency. In this method, language learners, most especially the students, will improve their listening and speaking skills using the target language.
No memorizing of rigid grammar rules, but concepts are too thought by means of object or context. Reading and writing is practiced with help of verbal and oral instructions. Variants of this method have been developed where teachers allow limited explanation in the student's native language and explain some grammar rules to correct common errors as a student make when speaking. So, ang teacher ani is ginatagaan lang niya og kanang limitation ang mother tongue sa isa ka student para ang language or foreign language is ma-adapt nila. O as a teacher, need po nimo nga i-guide sila or i-correct ang mga errors nila and so on para ma-okay ay para makabalo o ma-learn nila o unsaon paggamit ang foreign language o asa siya gamiton o unsay sakto paggamit sa foreign language. So
direct relation between thoughts and words. Using this method, a learner thinks and speaks using the same medium. Thoughts is directly correlated just to words. So, as our mind learn language, ang language is create a framework nga mag-allow sa atong mind to form consistent and conscious thought.
Oral speaking practice. This method emphasizes on oral practice for everyone. For example, the teacher asks the students a number of questions in the target language. which they have to understand to be able to answer it correctly.
What is functional grammar? So the word functional indicates that the approach is concerned with meaning. So when you say functional grammar, it basically based on what is the meaning in the text. Reminder that the meaning can be represented in various texts. So there are two various texts. First is oral text, which means when we are talking, when we are speaking, and second is written text, when we write. So with functional grammar, it is concerned kung unsa lang ang meaning sa giistorya sa other person. It doesn't care if kanang unsa pay nag-consist sa giistorya atong isa ka tao, if na ba siya noun, if na ba siya verb. But with functional grammar, it is just concerned kung unsa ang meaning sa text. So looking back at the main point, functional grammar is that kind of grammar which looks at the text of the point of view of meaning. However, functional grammar does not talk about only one sentence. The text may be long, the text may be short, depending on what you are looking at. So, all in all, functional grammar is all about meaning.
The fourth basic principle of direct method is the no use of mother tongue. There is the complete prohibition on the use of mother tongue. Therefore, learner's main focus is on learning the foreign language. In this method, using mother tongue is prohibited since this method aims to introduce English language directly to the students in the same way they learn their mother tongue. Translation is not allowed, so the students will learn the language, specifically the English language, naturally.
Limited vocabulary. The method advocates the use of limited vocabulary. Daily use words. The words must be from requirements or needs of the learners. Some learners, especially the 3 to 5-year-old, they only know just a few words. Some of those, they just learn whether it's from their parents, sister, or brother. And we are still coping up and learning new words and its meaning. For example, your learner need to pee. And she said, Mom, sir, or teacher, I need to pee or wee. Instead of Mom, sir, teacher, may I go out? I need to pee. It's because of limited vocabulary, they just have a few words. And it must be from requirements or their need.
Here, the unit of speech is a sentence. There is emphasis on speaking the complete sentences. Example, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. In traditional grammar, it is typically defined as a string of words that expresses a complete thought, or as a unit consisting of a subject and predicate.
The role of teachers in the direct method of teaching. What are the role of teachers in the direct method of teaching? As future teachers, we are the teaching professionals. So in this direct method, our primary role is to evaluate our students' learning capacity. So we tend to give them activity like exam and quizzes for them to answer in accordance to what they have learned. And it is very important for us teachers that after that kind of activity, we should acknowledge our students' right answers to help them develop their self-confidence and be eager to show more. We should also correct the wrong answers directly for them to know the right one at the same time. This method also helps us teachers because it serves as a guide on what probably the next topic we should teach them and what method of teaching we should use to have an effective teaching strategy. In this method, teachers and students' relationship is very important. It can't be done by teachers only and by student only on the other hand.
Hi, my name is Cesare Maturin. I am the reporter of Realia Drawing and Pictures, which is part of direct method. Realia Drawing and Pictures. Using this technique means that you are going to bring real objects to the classroom. Ani nga technique kinahanglan ka magdala og real objects sa classroom para mahimong example for your students nga makakonect sila sa topic personally and makatabang po ni siya aron ma-motivate ang students to participate sa klase. Aside ana, it can make the learning process meaningful and more memorable para sa learners kay pwede man nila makonect sa tinuod nga kinabuhi. Example, the word mango. Teachers will demonstrate the lesson by bringing real mango for the students, drawing or bring pictures so students will be able to get the meaning of the word. Example, the word mango. Ang teachers mag-explain sa students kung unsa ang mango while having a drawing, pictures, or a real mango sa iyang kamot so that ang students makasabot kung unsa ang meaning sa word. So for me as a reporter, one of the purpose of Realia Drawing and Pictures is to illustrate the meaning of vocabulary word. And that's all. Thank you.
Contextualizations. Using these techniques helps students learn and use the language in a real life situation in a real meaningful context. Example for contextualizations. Students may be taught writing skills in the morning in an English course and then be accepted to apply them to writing an essay in a history class in the afternoon. Let students apply what they learn by given such as a task.
This is the third technique, using complete sentences. Using this technique, it helps students to acquire new vocabulary. For example, you ask the students if they are happy, and the students replied yes or no. So, we need to letting them to use a complete sentences. For in this case, the students will be answered yes, I am happy, or no, I am not happy. So, why? It's because you want students to learn the word and you're helping them to practice the word all the time.
Good day everyone, my name is Relaika Joyudiome and I'm here to discuss to you the paragraph writing. Using this technique lets students apply what they have taken and write sentences or essays according to their level of language. Example, if you're teaching a topic about sports, you can let them write essays about their favorite sport, favorite team, clubs, what they like to play, or any related to sports. Our role here is to give feedback such as in a grammar, spelling, punctuations, and ideas.
Advantages number 1. The focus is on oral practice. Therefore, the pronunciation improved. Number 2. In teaching vocabulary such as words, idioms,
This method is good. Number 3. As there is direct relation between thought and expression, it helps the learners in having good fluency. Using direct method, a teacher helps students having good command over English. Number 4. In this method, the teacher proceeds from particular to general and from concrete to abstract. Number 5. It takes the teaching English easier and more pleasant. The teacher uses various images, pictures to illustrate his or her point. Number 6. This method creates the suitable environment for learning English language. Number 7. As the unit of speech in direct method is a sentence, students learn to speak complete sentences without any hesitation, so they get confidence with command over English. Disadvantages of direct method is number 1. Owing to overemphasis on oral practice, the other skills, namely reading and writing, are ignored to a great extent. Number 2. Average and below average students, especially from rural background, find difficulty to grasp the things taught via this method. Number 3. This is an expensive method as a teacher is to use some aids for teaching. For this method, competent teachers must be there, but there is a dearth of good English teachers in the country. Incompetent teachers cannot use this method successfully. Number 5. In the early stage of learning, this method is completely unsuccessful. Number 6. The background at home must also be foreign. Despite its shortcomings, this method is good, but the teacher must be able to modify it for the benefit of the whole class.
Opportunities and threats of direct method. Opportunities. On one hand, it will be a good chance for students to improve our knowledge about grammar and to excel our pronunciation. And at the other hand, it is a good method for intermediate and advanced teachers to make students' skills float. Comparing this method with the grammar translation, this one will open more doors now. Threats. As we wrote before, some risks of this method are that for being focused in grammar and pronunciation. Teachers will neglect wording and writing activities, and a good teaching method must fulfill the four skills activities, which is reading, writing, speaking, and listening.